Alright, how you doing? Thought I'd share some of this. I saw my Uncle Gary wrote us a letter, and I was supposed to be going down to visit him and my auntie near London this summer, and what with lockdown and that, it's not going to happen. And he's alright, my uncle, he's doing alright, but see with this, he sort of poured his heart out a bit, and it's got me thinking any road. Dear Blue, shame you're not coming down soon. Not such a shame you're stuck in Carlisle, though I understand you sometimes get fed up with the place. Given how some people have been enjoying a return to some old day habits, I thought I'd write a letter and have a rant. Listen, son, you're doing alright and you'll turn out alright, but one thing about your generation in Cumbria bothers me big time. What is it with the television subscriptions and wall-to-wall Premiership football? You're missing out. You live just over a mile from Brunton Park and you've only been there to play games in a school tournament. Wrong, Uncle Gary. I did a fun run that finished there once. When I was younger than you, I saw the legends of Carlisle United. I saw bravery, real skill, and this is the bit that matters. I saw things I wanted to do in the playground. You can read about this stuff, but seeing it as it happens is what matters. Because then you make your own mind up without some ex-player in a suit on telly telling you what to think. I was there for Carlisle's promotion run in 1982. Best moment for me? Freezing, wet, pitch like a cabbage patch in late January, and half the matches in the country were off. Carlisle had Lincoln at home. The ball came forward and died in the mud. Lincoln's goalie came out to kick it, got half the contact he needed, and the ball hit Paul Bannon and bounced into the net. Bannon scored goals and looked like he couldn't care less about being on the pitch. Blue, you don't see players like him in the Premiership. Yes, you did hear that right. Uncle Gary always calls it the Premiership. Look who's top. He goes on to mention about 6 players, including Don O'Riordan. Now, Uncle Gary loved Don O'Riordan, and he told us he had skill, but after he passed the ball, sometimes he'd just deck an opposing player. No VAR in those days, officials just watching the ball, and the opposing fans had just gone mad. And my Uncle Gary reckons that Don likely enjoyed the odd foul for the comedy value. And he'd moved down south at this time. This is the 80s. And the first thing he did down there was join the London branch, official supporters, but exiles. And he says that the only proper psychic experience he's had in his life was watching Carlisle. A goal in the 90s when Paul Conway sprinted from the middle of the pitch under challenge and still got the ball in the Barnet net. And to be fair, that's on YouTube. My uncle showed me that a few times. But he claims that the second that ball was under control, that he knew Conway was going to score and he was still in the centre circle at that point. I mean, I get it, I do, sort of. Peter Murphy, Kieran Westwood, of course I've heard of them, but there's other things. I'd never considered Brunton Park being the perfect distance from the centre of the city. Far enough to let the atmosphere build, but not some out-of-town shed with no roof. And my uncle gans into one about how the sound carries out of the ground as you're approaching it. Oh, and how good the chippies smell on a cold night in winter. And how Carlisle's educated Cumbrians over the years, and that bit is true. Because my mate Mark's dad, he's told us about the places he's seen from the supporters' bus. So the season that Carlisle were out of the league, that bus past the McLaren F1 factory on its way to Woking. And these last seasons with Carlisle being a bit mid-table, my uncle puts some work into enjoying the day before kick-off. And he rates his London branch mates, the pre-match drinks, and on his way to a decent chip shop down south. None of which, to be fair, you get watching the games on your big screen at home. And I mean, one time when he was back, I was watching Liverpool, and he says, here's a secret. Any player who gets out of the Championship just keeps fit and plays no more. The Premier shit is all done with CGI, and they fix the results at the start of the season based on who pays the most money to the television companies. I've never actually been to Anfield to check any of this. That was his point. But when he puts up photos of like Stevenage or Swindon on Facebook, I mean, well, it's not exactly the Bernabeu, eh? And that being said, he won't let up on trying to get me along. And he has a point. Or two. It's about community. That's something I've learned in lockdown. Like, when you go somewhere and you share what's going on, you're more like caught in the moment. And I know why else is banging on. Because once all this lockdown lot is over, loads of businesses are going to struggle if we don't value what we've got, like locally. Well, and my uncle's point is that we lose it, and that means we don't get our own history to share, like I'm sharing this. Oh, see you soon, Uncle Gary. Stay safe down there.